welcome back to another video. This is your Rate the Transfer Rumour show. We haven't done this one for about 2 weeks, I'd say. Is that right, Daz, roughly?
About that, yeah. So hopefully there'll be a few we're talking about today in the Rumour Mill. Silly season it is.
There's a few in and a few in from Bowes, and I think that's a good place to start. We'll start off with Andy Lyons, linked with a move to Shamrock Rovers. What do you think of that one, Daz?
Yeah, that's an interesting one now, to say the least. I hope in my heart that he wouldn't go there because he's really loved that ball. Like, all of us, we all love him. Like, and as I said before numerous times, he stepped into Derek Pender's boots and made that right back position his own and was one of the better players for us. And throughout the league, he's been one of the better right backs in the league. And he's still so young and has his whole career ahead of him. I'd hope he wouldn't move to Rovers if he's going to go to a team in the league. Of course, you don't want any Bowes player going to any the Rovers teams. You just don't want it to happen. And I think if he is looking elsewhere, he should be looking at, Scotland or England rather than, if he's not going to stay at Bowes, I think, unless he's going to go for money, which it's a big thing too. But I would hope he wouldn't go to Rovers. I really hope it doesn't happen. I've seen that people saying that, even messaging me going, Lyons, he's going to Rovers, and I've had a few of them off people, so that's never a good sign when you get a few messages off people at different parts saying, he's coming to us. But like, people don't know it, Lyons, he is training with Bowes. He is doing his preseason with Bowes, so that's an interesting one. I think Crew Alexander Key as well was linked with him at one stage as well a few weeks ago. Yeah.
Where are you going rating wise for this one?
I don't want to put this one high. I'm going to put it as a 6.
6. That
is high. That's more than 5. Obviously, it's more than 50-50 then. I think there is something in it. Look, I think most teams in this league will be talking to him and would want him. Why wouldn't they want him? A proven right back that's young with his best years ahead of him. Why wouldn't you want him? So there definitely is talk. There definitely is something there. But hopefully, Bowes have no excuse to offer him a contract and keep him with the club and offer him a good one for a few years. There's no excuse. It should be done by now if they're going to keep him.
I've no doubt that Shamrock Rovers would be potentially be interested, but they've got Sean Gannon there as well, so who knows? But it's an interesting one anyway. We'll see what happens there. Next is Niall McGinn, back to Derry City from Aberdeen. Obviously, McGinn was at Derry City before his move to Celtic. He's played over 100 games for Aberdeen in the last number of years, but he hasn't. He's kind of lost his place there. He's 34 now. How do you see that link with Derry City?
Yeah, look, he's 34, as you said. I think he's over 100 appearances he actually has for them. He had a few very good consistent seasons with them as well. Like, he did quite well for himself on a personal level, as in, playing at a professional level for quite a number of years. He's at a good age now if he wants to return home, and I'm sure he'd be going to a former club at Derry. He'd be looking at going to them. They've got money as well. Who knows the amount of dosh they could be offering him, because they have money now, and they'll want a few experienced heads going into this team as well to try and compete this season in the league. And like, they want to go for Europe minimum this season, I believe, and they've brought in quite a number of players too, and a few high profile players that we all know of as well, and we're even making signings before the season even finished last season. So I'd rate this one quite high. I'd probably put it as a 7, and he's a dependable player that Derry will be getting. And I think if he's going to come back to anyone here, I think it's going to be Derry. So yeah, I'd put this one at a 7.
Yeah, it's the type of profile they're looking at as well. He's not from Derry, but he played for Derry before. He's from Dungannon, I believe. Yeah. I could be wrong there, but I think he's from Dungannon. But again, the type of profile of player they're after. So you're going for 7, is it?
7, yeah.
Next one up is a goalkeeper, and that's Matthijs. I might have butchered this name, Kovar. He's a goalkeeper from Manchester United, 21-year-old Czech under-21 international. He's linked with a move to St. Patrick's Athletic. He was on loan at Swindon last season. Did really well there. Notably, him and Vít Yaris are battling for that number 1 spot with the Czech under-21s. But obviously, Pat's still on the lookout for a goalkeeper. There's a number of options. But how do you see that rumour?
Yeah, I think, firstly, I do know this goalkeeper. I've heard of him. I've actually had him in Football Manager before. If that counts. But
was he any good though?
He was good. He was good for my Bowes team. Now, let me tell you, boy, James Talbot. I will say that. But
well, you must have got rid of James Talbot then if he was good in your Bowes team.
No, he left months ago. But yeah, no, look, obviously I haven't really seen him play live. I've seen him on the EFL show a few times, but as for a live game, I haven't seen him. So I don't know too much about him I haven't actually seen him play. But I think this is a type of one where you might judge on external factors. As in an international teammate, you might be going to his old club and he done quite well there before him, and I'm sure he'll have nothing but good things to say about St. Pat's. He'll have nothing but really good things to say about the club and the people there. And look, you know yourself being a Pats fan. I know from being a league fan that there's very good people at St. Pat's, and they've got a good team, and they'll be looking to try and build this, another team, and they've lost a lot of players, and he seems to fit that kind of profile, like you said earlier about previous players for Pats. And I think if he's talking to him from last season, he might sway him to go. Like, he'd tell him about his good things, and I'm sure he's not good things to say. And I think for Pats, this one could be quite high. I'd probably put this one at a 7 or 8. I think he'll have looked at Jarrows and how well he's done, and thinking to himself, this could propel me more next season, and who knows, it could go from there, and I'll be playing every week, and the fans loved him and all, and hopefully I can be that goalkeeper and try and be better than him. So it might inspire him and push him to be even better than Jarrows was. And Jarrows wanted to shine lights, I think, for Pats last season. I think he was a bit underrated by us throughout the season. I think he's done so well, and he could really inspire this goalkeeper to come in and go to Pats and do really well. So yeah, I'd be putting this one at 8. I'd be putting it at an 8. Yeah, I think this one quite likely to happen. But like you said, Pats have options. There's other goalkeepers, Trouts, and it's one worth exploring. Definitely is something in it. I put it as an 8. I think it will happen.
It's an interesting one, all right, isn't it? Caelan Mclear from Dungannon Swiss of Finn Harps. Of course, Caelan was at Finn Harps twice, actually. He had 2 spells at the club before. 28-year-old winger. Look, Finn Harps look like they're in a little trouble at the moment with the players they've lost and the uninspired signings, I personally think. But Mclear, how do you see that one? Do you think that's a possibility, or would he be good signing?
I think for the likes of Harps now, signing ex-players, at least it gives them a sense of who the players is, and they know what the player is about, and hopefully they'll be better players going back to Harps. So there is that element about it, and obviously Ollie Horgan would have managed him before. He'd know his characteristics, and I was actually surprised at Ollie signing Heary. I didn't think he'd go for him, but he did, which kind of was eyebrow raiser for me anyway. I'm yourself as well, and people chose the league as a bit of a shock signing. I didn't think Heary would go there. I think he'd go there, but like you said, before even touching that player, Hearts, for me, are in a bit of trouble. It's getting very close to the season starting. Pre-season games are already underway, and they still have a lot of holes to fill in that team, as do other teams. They definitely do. Not trying to pin this in Hearts by any mean, but I think if you're someone that's down there, it's going to be fighting relegation. You really need your team in early to get yourself going, get your style of play, and any players you might have lost, you really need to fill them holes and know the type of team you have going forward for the season. And Harps really aren't there yet. They've got a lot of voids left to fill in that team. But look, he's been at the club twice already, and he's been let go by Harps as well. Let's not forget that. They brought in other players too, but it seems like they're not really attracting many players this season for whatever reason. And I'd probably put this one as high. They're going to need bodies in the team. He might not be a starter, but he's going to be an option, I think, for them. And I think it is likely to happen. I'd probably put this one as a 9. It's probably going to happen very soon. It might even happen by the time we release this video, but he's been there twice already. Ollie knows his characteristics, and Ollie tries to sign hard-working players, which is why, again, I was surprised he signed Heary. But look, Harps, they're a battling team. They're warriors, and they tried to warrior as best as they can to sign passionate, hard-working players. So he will give them 100%, I will say that. So I hope it works out for him if he does go there, which I think he will. So I'll put this one as a 9.
Final one is Dawson Devoy linked with a move to MK Dons. And of course, MK Dons have tried Parrott and loan, and I think Conor Coventry's there now as well, I believe, isn't he? Isn't that right? Yeah. Devoy obviously signed the contract last year. And this one's come completely out of the blue and even caught me napping a little bit, I have to say. But I think they're losing a player in a similar position. MK Dons, apparently. So, do you think this could happen? Do you think Devoy would actually go at this point of the season, like, halfway through pre-season type thing?
Look, it'd be sad if he does go. He's one of the best players in the league. We all know that. And, if you're a Bow supporter watching this, or this league sport in general, Devoy's one of these type of players you want to stay here for as long as we can to watch him, because he's such a good, talented player, and he always has that moment of brilliance in a match, and like he's picked passes out of the blue for us, has led the goals for George Kelly last season, and he'd be so hard to replace. Like likes of Ross Tierney, the players you just can't replace like for like, and I don't think Cam, Keith, and Trevor would be planning to have lost him. And I think they're going to struggle to try and find a player to come in and fill a void in the team, because he'd be a nail-on starter every single game. I thought if he was going to go, it'd be the summertime, not now. I was kind of thinking it would be summertime he'd go, as I said, not now. And, there's been a lot of outlets keep reporting this one, like you said. It's come up out of the blue. I didn't know anything about it up there yesterday, I think it was. And it even flashed up on RTE News there during the day, actually, that he's been linked with MK Dons. And, it's quite profile then if, there's so many places linking him to leave. So I think there is something in it. Those probably have had an offer, but it's not being disclosed, obviously. Look,
I think he would leave on a personal level at this point, do you think?
Well, a lot of us thought we would have went last season, and he didn't. But I think
or the end of this season, it might. That's the way I was thinking personally.
Look, he's still so young, but I think he's going to be looking at the likes of Tierney leaving, and he's probably talked to him and thinking, look, I'm in a full-time setup and training full-time, and we've our own gym.
The likes of Phillips recently, who's gone to Palace and stuff,
Yeah, and even Evan Ferguson himself getting into the Brighton team. So many players have left and gone, and I think this might inspire him to go while a chance is there. And at MK Dons too, he'll play. It's not like he's going to a Premier League team where he has to break. I think he'll play if he goes there. And like you said, they're losing a player in their position that they're going to want to fill in.
I think his name is Matt O'Reilly. I couldn't remember.
Yeah, and I think he's going to Celtic, I believe. So, and there's, like you said, there's an Irish contingency there as well. You've got Parrott and you've got Coventry, and I'm sure he talks to them from the underage teams too. And if they're recommending him to go, or if an offer came in and both were happy with it, a lot of things are adding up here for him to leave. And unfortunately, he looks to be heading that way. I probably put this one right now for myself at 6, because it'd be sad to see him go this early in the season, but it could happen. But then, he might hold out till the summer as well, which I hope he does. But it's very up in the air a little bit now. It's came out of the blue, and it's a bit unsettling to be reading and listening to. And because we're going to have to go scrabbling for players now to try and find someone who's going to score you 10 goals a season from midfield, and try and get a creative midfielder, which is so hard to get. And the only thing is, the fact that he signed down to a contract, we will get money. It won't be a nominal fee. It'll be a transfer fee. But will Bohs spend it? It's the other question, which I don't believe they will. And we're losing so many players. So
again, it depends on that fee, because there's another club that recently made I would say a terrible offer for a young talent in the league as well. So you never know, that could come into effect as well. There's interest there, but there's a lot to be done, if you get me.
That's exactly why I'm going to put it as a 6. It's more than 50-50 in my opinion. There's definitely an offer there, and his head will be turned. But then again, like you said, there's other factors. The start of the season. The season's only beginning. It's not, we'll have to even play a pre-season game. There's so many other factors, but it's more than 50-50 for me. So it's a 6 out of 10 as of right now. And if he does go, I wish him all the best. He owes Bohs nothing. He's been a shining light for us. He's a terrific young player, and he's a great young lad. And if he does go, I will be watching his games, and I wish him all the best. But hopefully he stays for even till the summertime. But he's a great player, and if he does go, I wish him all the best. Hopefully he stays anyway till the summertime.
Yeah, brilliant stuff, Daz. Cheers, guys. Let us know what you think in the comments with all this transfer news. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. Hit your bell notification button so you haven't missed a video. And like the video if you like the content. Thanks for watching. Cheers, Daz.